Welcome into the Cowboys Report. I am your host, Tom Downey, as we all not very patiently wait for the Cowboys to do something in free agency that's not a one-year borderline vet minimum deal. Now, there have been some players linked to Dallas. Let's go through the free agency rumors out there. Let's begin with Adoree Jackson, the former first-round pick by the Tennessee Titans, surprisingly cut by the organization on Tuesday. I bring up Jackson, A, because he's someone I have interest in, but also we know from back in the 2017 NFL Draft that the Cowboys liked him. They were high on him, a good athlete, outside corner, who I think could still fit their defense. Of course, it is worth mentioning that was a different defensive coaching staff for the Cowboys and different coaching staff overall. The issue and the argument against going after Adoree Jackson is that, well, he hasn't been great the past 2 years. Missed the majority of this past season with an injury, and there were some whispers out of Tennessee the team didn't like how he took his rehab process. That's a bit of a red flag. 2019, not great. He wasn't picked on that much. They focused on other players from that perspective. Jackson does come in just slightly under what I think the Cowboys' preferred arm length is. I'm going to put it down as 31.5 inches. He's 31 3/8. Maybe it's close enough, maybe it's not. But the Cowboys got to go get somebody, right? I'm taking Jordan Lewis off this list. Of course, Chidobe Awuzie is already signed with the Cincinnati Bengals. So your cornerback depth chart right now is Trevon Diggs, Anthony Brown, opt-out Maurice Candidate, who didn't play at all last year and wasn't even guaranteed a roster spot, and the Robinson guys, like, oh boy, that's not going to get it done. So at this point, I have adopted this mindset. Simply put, folks, beggars can't be choosers, and I am begging for anything at this point. And is it going to work? Maybe, maybe not. I guess we'll find out. So get your votes in for me. This is the pinned comment on today's video. Would you go out and sign Adoree Jackson? Type in Y for yes or type in N for no. Now, Tarell Basham had been mentioned by Michael Gelkin of the Dallas Morning News as a strong fit for what the Cowboys want to do. Common thread, by the way, between Basham and Jackson. Cowboys like both those guys in the pre-draft process back in 2017, with the Cowboys bringing in Basham multiple times for a visit. I would be pretty underwhelmed by this signing. This is not a legitimate Aldon Smith replacement. I know he was a former third-round pick, and there is some upside in air quotes, I guess, for him. But this is not someone who's ever been a steady pass rusher. Frankly, I think he'd be an upgrade over Dorrance Armstrong from a pass rushing perspective, but that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm looking for a good number 3, and I don't know if Basham actually is that. If he's cheap, sure, of course, I've always got interest in. The Cowboys are in the market for one more edge rusher, as far as I'm concerned. DeMarcus Lawrence, Randy Gregory, probably going to be their top 2. We'll see what happens with Aldon Smith, currently a free agent. I'm not feeling that optimistic he's back, but we'll see. Hopefully I end up being wrong on that one. Then it's Bradley and I, Dorrance Armstrong, Rondell Carter. Basham kind of fits in that same grouping, probably a bit better and a bit more proven than those options. So you bring in Basham. You don't have to take an edge rusher early, but you should probably at least be considering it if the value ends up being right. Now what I want you guys to do is name a player you think the Cowboys will actually sign. Producer Brett's shaking his head at me. I'll meet you. I will meet you halfway. It can be no one. That is an acceptable answer right now. It could be a re-signing of some sort, since they did it with Noah Brown as well. I'm not feeling overly optimistic at this point. The Cowboys are not going to spend more than $6 or $7 million on per year on a free agent. It's just not what they're going to do. That's what they've done for years, though. So once again, I talk myself into it and have my heart broken. Classic, just like safeties, right? Safety's coming up, by the way. Before we do that, make sure you guys are subscribed. Once the Cowboys make a move, we'll break it down for you, even if it's something like Ty Nsekhe, like we did yesterday for you. Hit that big red button and subscribe. That way you guys know exactly what's going on around NFL free agency and the Dallas Cowboys, even if it ends up not being all that much. You're watching the Dallas Cowboys Report. Let's talk safety free agency for the Dallas Cowboys as I once again get my hopes up. Although my hopes are not that excited about one Keanu Neal. The Cowboys reportedly, per Josina Anderson, are among the teams interested in adding Neal. And I will make a note, by the way, that Neal is also allegedly open to playing linebacker. Now, safety has been a need for the Dallas Cowboys for years now. But I don't know if Keanu Neal actually takes care of that need from the Dallas Cowboys' perspective. And the Cowboys are one of 6 teams mentioned in this report from Justin Anderson. The other 5, the New York Jets, the Detroit Lions, the Minnesota Vikings, the Colts, and the Carolina Panthers as well. I wonder if Carolina actually might be one of the more ideal fits given what they want to do with their defensive scheme. Keanu Neal, all the way through, is a strong safety. He is not someone that is going to line up deep, line up at free safety, and cover a bunch of ground. He is going to be a box safety, a true strong safety who hangs out much closer to the line of scrimmage, and his stat line reflects that exactly. So that makes me wonder, what's the Cowboys' plan at safety? I know there's the connection between Keanu Neal and Dan Quinn, and that's logical to me. But the Cowboys need a true free safety. They need someone who can fit that cover 3, cover 1, middle of the field, and be a rangy option. That is not Keanu Neal. And I don't think it's Donovan Wilson either. If you're going to play more 2 deep safeties, okay, Wilson can do that. But as a Earl Thomas-esque free safety, that does not fit. That is not Donovan Wilson's game. So you bring in Keanu Neal, okay, that helps you at strong safety. Sure, I feel great about that position. What am I doing, though, at free safety? My solution there is still unknown. I have to go sign somebody else or draft somebody as well. So again, if Keanu Neal's cheap, sure, there's no such thing as a cheap 1-year contract with little to no guaranteed money. But if he's my strong safety, is Wilson my free safety? Or, and I like this idea, could I play Keanu Neal more at linebacker? And with what this Dallas Cowboys team has right now, which is really just Jalen Smith and Leighton Vander Esch, I'm down to bring in Keanu Neal. I'm down to run more big nickel and use a third safety on the field and make Neal kind of a linebacker safety hybrid. Now, on passing downs, am I pulling Jalen Smith off the field? Because that kind of intrigues me. But then why am I paying him so much money, right? So because of that, I'm not sure how legitimate and significant the interest is in Keanu Neal in terms of actually getting it done, but we will see. Now, there are some other free agent safeties still on the market. Anthony Harris, Kareem Jackson, probably going to be a little bit more expensive, but would help solidify that free safety hole. 3 other names who are cheaper, but would be able to play that true free safety, middle-of-the-field, rangy guy. Malik Hooker, incredibly talented, always hurt. Damontae Kazee, coming off an injury, but knows Dan Quinn, played that free safety role in his defense with the Falcons. And Trey Boston, who has been a solid free safety coming off a not-so-great season, but can also be a free safety and might end up being pretty cheap on that front. So what safety do you guys want to sign? I don't think you can enter this offseason, or this draft, I should say, with Donovan Wilson and bring back Xavier Woods. Kind of gross on that front. So let me know in the comments, what safety do you guys want to add? It is time for March Madness, finally at long last after missing out last year. If you want to place some bets and make some money on the games I know everyone's going to be watching, head over to chatsports.com/bet. That URL at the bottom of your screen will take you right into the BetUS site. When you use promo code Cowboys125, you'll get 125% deposit bonus as well. Pro tip, fade Baylor. Don't bet on the Baylor Bears. Always fade Chat Sports host Thomas Mott. You'll end up making some money that way. So look elsewhere. I am intrigued by Illinois. It's tough to go undefeated, but kind of want Gonzaga to actually pull it off this year. Those are just some of the bets you can place. You can bet, of course, on the individual games as well. And oh, by the way, on top of that, we will hook you up with a Dak Prescott jersey once you sign up and place a bet. Put down $100, by the way. Email us, cowboys@chatsports.com, in order to claim your jersey. That is cowboys@chatsports.com. I know we got some emails to get back to. Don't worry. We'll do that in the very near future. I promise you guys. And I'll make your lives easier by putting that email in the comments and in the description. One more time, folks. It is chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code Cowboys125. Wrapping up here with the contract details on Ty Nsekhe, the new swing tackle for the Dallas Cowboys, signed on Tuesday. They did something, technically. It's a 1-year, $1.75 million deal. There's also a $500,000 signing bonus. So if he's bad at age 35, you can cut him. I do want to make a note, by the way, per over the cap, the way this contract is being paid out, it should not count against the Cowboys comp pick formula. So as a result, for the time being, and knowing things can and probably will change as other moves happen, and hopefully does change so the Cowboys get some defensive players, Dallas is in line for the maximum 4 comp picks once again. A 4th-round pick for Andy Dalton. What a great deal for Dallas. A 5th-round pick for Chidobe Awuzie. A 6th-round pick for Cam Erving. And a 7th-round pick for Joe Thomas. The 4th and the 6th there? That's awesome for Dallas. Now, if the Cowboys sign other teams' players who are free agents and not released, that would impact the comp pick formula. And there's also, of course, guys like Jordan Lewis and Aldon Smith and Joe Looney and others still out there in the open market. You're maxed out at 4, so the Cowboys will add somebody, I think, at some point. Just going to have to find out who that actually ends up being.